Scene script. Have you ever wondered what the future of genetic editing might look like? Imagine a world where we can customize our own DNA, where we have the power to eradicate hereditary diseases, or design crops that are resilient to climate change. This might sound like a science fiction novel, but it's not. We're talking about the real, tangible future of genetic editing, a concept that has the potential to revolutionize numerous fields, from healthcare to agriculture and even environmental conservation. Now, what if we told you that this future is closer than you think? Thanks to a revolutionary tool called CRISPR, we are on the brink of a new era of genetic engineering. CRISPR stands for Clustered Regularly Interspaced Short Palindromic Repeats. It's a mouthful, isn't it? But don't worry, we won't be diving into the nitty-gritty details. Instead, we'll explore how this tool is set to change the world as we know it. In the realm of healthcare, imagine being able to correct genetic defects even before a baby is born, or to cure diseases like cancer at their genetic root. In agriculture, envision creating supercrops that can withstand pests, diseases, and extreme weather conditions, promising food security for our growing global population. And when it comes to environmental conservation, picture engineering organisms that can clean up oil spills or absorb greenhouse gases, actively reversing the effects of climate change. Sounds like magic, doesn't it? But this is science, not sorcery. It's the magic of the microscopic world, the magic of our DNA, and the magic of CRISPR, a tool that is making these dreams into realities. But, as with any powerful tool, CRISPR comes with its own set of ethical considerations. What are the boundaries of genetic editing? Who gets to decide what is normal or desirable? These are questions we must grapple with as we step into this brave new world. So, what exactly is this CRISPR tool, and how does it potentially hold the keys to the future? We'll dive deeper into this in the next scene. Stay tuned, because the future is closer than you think. Imagine if you could cut and paste genes just like text in a Word document. That's the dazzling promise of CRISPR, a revolutionary technology that's transforming the realm of genetic engineering. So, what is CRISPR? It stands for Clustered Regularly Interspaced Short Palindromic Repeats, a mouthful that essentially describes a pattern in DNA sequences. But don't worry, we won't get lost in the alphabet soup of genetics. Instead, think of CRISPR as a pair of molecular scissors, capable of snipping DNA at precise locations. The real magic of CRISPR lies in how it knows where to cut, and that's where the Cas9 protein and guide RNA come into play. The Cas9 protein is the scissor component, while the guide RNA is like a GPS system, directing Cas9 to the exact DNA sequence that needs editing. Let's simplify this a bit. Imagine you're working on a Word document, and you want to replace the word apple with orange. You'd use the find function to locate apple, then replace to swap it with orange. That's essentially how CRISPR works. The guide RNA is the find function, locating the exact word or gene to be edited. The Cas9 protein is the replace function, cutting out the old gene and paving the way for a new one to be inserted. This process is incredibly precise, and it's what makes CRISPR such a game changer in the field of genetic engineering. It opens up a world of possibilities, from treating genetic diseases to improving crop yields, and even potentially bringing extinct species back to life. But it's not all about playing God with genes. There are checks and balances in place to ensure that this technology is used responsibly. After all, while CRISPR is a powerful tool, it's not a toy. But with such power comes a lot of responsibility and potential benefits. As we venture further into the realm of CRISPR and genetic editing, it's crucial to remember this balance. In the next segment, we'll delve deeper into the potential of CRISPR and how it could revolutionize healthcare. What if we could eradicate genetic diseases or engineer drought-resistant crops? These are not just the musings of a sci-fi enthusiast, but real possibilities presented by CRISPR, the revolutionary technology that's turning the science fiction of yesteryears into the science fact of today. Let's start with healthcare. Imagine a world where genetic diseases like cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, or even some forms of cancer are things of the past. Sounds like a dream, right? But with CRISPR, this could become our reality. By precisely editing the genetic code, CRISPR has the potential to correct the mutations that cause these diseases. It's like having a molecular pair of scissors, snipping away the errors in our DNA, and potentially paving the way for a healthier future. Now, let's shift our gaze from the microscopic world of human cells to the sprawling fields of agriculture. The global population is growing at a rapid pace, and we need to produce more food more efficiently. Here, too, CRISPR comes to the rescue. By making precise changes in the DNA of crops, we can engineer plants that are more resistant to pests, diseases, and harsh weather conditions. Imagine crops that can thrive despite drought or frost, reducing the risk of food shortages and famine. It's like giving Mother Nature a helping hand to provide for all her children. And there's more. CRISPR could also revolutionize the production of biofuels, renewable sources of energy produced from organic matter. By tweaking the DNA of algae, we could potentially boost their oil production, leading to more efficient and sustainable biofuels. This could be a game changer in our quest for a greener planet. In the world of genetic editing, CRISPR is a veritable Swiss Army knife with a tool for every challenge. But as with any powerful tool, it's not just about what it can do, but how we choose to use it. While the benefits are immense, it's important to consider the ethical implications of such advanced genetic editing. Opening. How much should we tamper with our own genetic makeup? Let's dive into the deep end. The ethical considerations of CRISPR. It's a question that's been echoing in the halls of science ever since we discovered we could alter the code of life. It's not all about superhumans or designer babies. The real concerns are far more nuanced and, quite frankly, more pressing. First off, let's talk about the potential for misuse. We've all seen the movies rogue scientists creating monstrous creatures in hidden labs. While that's pure Hollywood, the reality is, CRISPR does have the potential to be used irresponsibly. It's a powerful tool that could, in the wrong hands, lead to unforeseen consequences. Then there's the risk of unintended side effects. Imagine trying to fix a faulty gene, but inadvertently causing a ripple effect, leading to other problems down the genetic line. It's like trying to fix a leaky pipe, but accidentally causing a flood. CRISPR, while precise, is not infallible. And when we're talking about the blueprint of life, even a small error can have significant implications. Finally, let's address the elephant in the room, the concept of playing God. It's a term that's been thrown around a lot, and it carries a heavy weight. Are we, as humans, ready to take on the responsibility of direct genetic manipulation? It's a question that has no easy answer, and one that we must grapple with as we move forward in this brave new world of genetic editing. These are not questions to be taken lightly. They demand a thoughtful, measured approach. They require us to balance our desire for progress and the potential benefits of CRISPR with a deep respect for the complexity of life and the unknowns that still surround our understanding of genetics. Closing. So, as we stand on the brink of a new era in genetic editing, it's important to tread carefully. CRISPR, a revolutionary tool with the potential to change the world, but not without risks. As we've seen, CRISPR is no ordinary invention. It's a genetic Swiss Army knife, capable of cutting and pasting DNA with unprecedented precision. Imagine a world where we can edit out genetic diseases from the human gene pool, where we can enhance crop yields to feed our ever-growing population, or even create biofuels to help combat climate change. That's the promise of CRISPR. In healthcare, CRISPR could be the key to curing genetic disorders like cystic fibrosis or Huntington's disease. It could also revolutionize cancer treatments by making immune cells more effective at hunting down and destroying cancer cells. Indeed, this is no distant sci-fi fantasy. We've already seen some promising early results from clinical trials. But it's not just about human health. CRISPR could also have a huge impact on agriculture. By editing the genes of crops, we could create plants that are more resistant to pests and diseases, or that can withstand harsh environmental conditions. This could help us feed a world population that's set to hit 9 billion by the middle of the century. Yet, as we've discussed, CRISPR is not without its ethical considerations. The power to edit genes comes with the potential for misuse. There are concerns about creating designer babies with selected traits, or about the unforeseen consequences of editing the genes of an entire species. As a society, we need to have serious, ongoing conversations about how we use this technology responsibly. Recent breakthroughs in CRISPR technology have only added to the excitement and anticipation. Every day, scientists are finding new ways to use CRISPR to solve some of the world's biggest challenges. But with each new discovery comes new ethical questions that we need to answer. As we step into the future, it's crucial to remember that with great power comes great responsibility. The future of genetic editing is in our hands. Let's make sure we handle it responsibly. Let's ensure that the legacy of CRISPR is one of healing, of progress, and of ethical responsibility. After all, the future of our world could very well depend on it.